So as you guys probably know, Neuro Sama has been away for a little while now, ever since the subathon, which obviously made a lot of headlines and stuff, especially within the mainstream like kind of Twitch space, right? And it's been a very, very great time to see, because obviously Neuro Sama ended up beating 2 hype train records, obviously beating her previous one, then beating her previous one again, which was obviously absolutely amazing, and the Swarm helped out massively with that, and that is why it was such a, you know, widely looked at subathon, as well as the fact that she was one of the most subscribed to channels over on Twitch, or Vedal's channel, sorry, was one of the most subscribed to over on Twitch, right? And it seems like we now have an update on where they're at and what they are actually doing and what they're planning on doing going forwards after this massive subathon, with this post right here. Obviously Neuro Sama saying, hey, sorry I've been gone for so long, but I'm home for a while. Please someone make sure I don't escape again. And yeah, as you can see there, here is a full schedule of what is actually going to be going on. It seems like only 2 streams starting tomorrow on Tuesday the 27th, with a Neuro stream and then an Evil stream on the 29th at 7 p.m. GMT both times, right? So again, very, very exciting, and a lot of people are very happy to see that Neuro Sama is back ever since the massive kind of subathon, right? And even Twitch has been hyped about this, which I'm glad to see that Twitch is actually kind of acknowledging them more now, because as I said initially, whenever this whole Neuro Sama subathon stuff was happening, it seems like Twitch were very, very I guess like reluctant, sorry, to kind of promote it. Maybe it was due to the AI stuff and whatever. Maybe they thought they might get backlash or something, but it seems like obviously they're now on board, and of course with the global emote, which came out I think it was what, a week ago or so, that everybody has been using. It's going to be very, very exciting to see how this can be used in stream, because yeah, I can imagine that emote is going to be used quite a bit and on Neuro Sama's return tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, it's very, very exciting. You got both Twitch accounts, by the way, Twitch and Twitch UK and Ireland, saying Neuro stream, Neuro's back, let's go. You also got Drumsy as well saying, I've always used your go live notification as a reminder to feed my pets. You killed them, dude. Which obviously that's quite funny, considering how often they went live, right? And said back so soon, the Swarm has been blessed, which yeah, obviously a lot of Swarm members did think that, hey, you know, is this going to be a little bit of a while until we see them? Like, is it going to be a couple of months or so? But it seems like this is actually a pretty quick return, right? Because when was the last time they streamed? It was back January 10th. So again, not that long of a break, about 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks. So very, very short hiatus there. And yeah, it seems like they're already back in business. But we have a little bit more details on exactly what is going on and how Vedal is doing as well, with a post over in the Neuro Sama Discord, it seems like, shared on the Neuro Sama subreddit, saying the King Father has spoken. And obviously Vedal puts in a message there saying, hello all, had a couple weeks off, mostly off, but was back to work somewhat last week. So he's been kind of working behind the scenes, saying the twins will be starting streaming again, but improvements will take some time to cook. Couldn't really do them during my time off. I expect I'll be back to streaming more Hollow Knight in late February or early March. I still have some things to take care of, but I've been itching to play more. We'll try and get some variety Neuro/Evil content in before then, but I might be a bit unavailable at times. So yeah, obviously it seems like Vedal is, you know, got a pretty full plate, I guess, in terms of work to do. So it seems like a lot of the streams will be very, not Vedal, Neuro Sama and Evil based, right? Because he has some work to do and some stuff to do that he wasn't able to do over the break, which I think is fair enough if he was just taking a break or whatever else was going on, right? I think it is pretty fair enough. And yeah, as he says there, he should be back to streaming and doing more Hollow Knight in late February. So, you know, another month until Vedal fully comes back. But it seems like, yeah, Neuro Sama and Evil will be back, though, tomorrow, which a lot of people are very excited about. People saying, has it been 6 months already? He said, do you guys remember when the Turtles said he'll be back? It's 2030, still waiting for him to finish Hollow Knight. The 2030, You Under a Rock is 2077, and Neuro just reenacted her playthrough in real life on her own without Vedal, of course, who's still on break. Which, yeah, obviously a lot of people joking about it, and they're saying at least they will continue Hollow Knight. Felt a little unfortunate that they picked it by the end of the subathon. He said he will continue it, the same with the Cyberpunk DLC. And yeah, obviously they were playing Hollow Knight and the Cyberpunk DLC on the subathon, but obviously that did get cut pretty short by the actual subathon ending. But to be honest, I think they wanted it to end anyways, because the timer kind of addition, you know, whenever how many subs it is adds on how many seconds, was going down. So obviously, you know, it's kind of like a I guess a thing to say, hey, we're going to slowly start to go into obviously no stream and end the kind of subathon, which I think, yeah, obviously that is fair enough, especially when you've been streaming for quite a while. And yeah, many people tried to bring up the subathon, not the subathon, the hype train, and tried to get another hype train going right before it ended, but it did end up failing, which obviously isn't great. But you know, that's totally fine. They beat 2 records. I don't think they should be necessarily sad about that. I think the Swarm should be very happy that they have done so much already. And again, it is kind of crazy, right? That they have come back so soon, right? People saying so, dev stream by the end of June, so yippee, then Big Pretzel has spoken. So again, lots of people are very excited to see that they are coming back. Now again, we obviously won't be seeing anything like the subathon for at least a year, maybe more. I don't think Vedal actually mentioned if they were going to do another one next year, like the same time or whatever, or if there was just going to be, I don't know, a spontaneity about it. Maybe they'll just do it one time. I don't know. But all we know is that Vedal is obviously pretty loaded by the amount of money that they made over on that subathon. So I think he can afford to take a couple of breaks and to obviously not do a subathon for a little bit, right? And again, as I said, it is just great to see that Neuro Sama is getting so much recognition, as I said, by the Twitch and Twitch UK audience, as well as other VTubers as well. People saying, welcome home, homeless swarms, which obviously, yeah, that has been a running joke as well for a lot of swarms, essentially saying that, hey, you know, they're homeless, and it seems like you guys are no longer homeless. So hopefully you have a place to go now and a place to kind of interact with, as it seems like, yeah, already back, which I think is great. Obviously, a lot of people just posting screenshots of Neuro, which I think is really nice to see. And as I said, one of the best communities that I have ever interacted with or seen, at least whenever it comes to this kind of stuff, right? People say, Return of the Queen, Neuro Sama finally back. 2 streams in a week is kind of my speed, a bit like the old days. Saying Swarm's no longer homeless. Hope you, Evil, and Vedal had a great vacation. So yeah, many people obviously wishing the best for them, and hopefully this isn't too soon, right? Because again, there is also a concern that maybe some people bring up with the fact of, oh, you know, is he coming back too soon? Like, could have they taken a longer break or whatever? Like, are they pushing themselves too hard? Which again, I don't know. Like, obviously we will never know, but obviously it seems like yeah, they've got it all kind of under control. They've got it all sorted, and it seems like, yeah, this schedule is a sustainable schedule for them, right? And obviously a lot of people pointing out that, yeah, Twitch and both Twitch accounts have been commenting on this, saying she's back. Neuro will be streaming again after a long break. Yay. They're glad to see return streams this quickly, even if they're just solo streams. Hope Vedal is enjoying vacation. Take as long as you need, which obviously I think is the biggest message that a lot of people are sending, right? You know, you don't have to come back immediately. You don't have to rush. And I think that is a common thing with a lot of VTuber comebacks anyways. I think a lot of people just want them to be okay and want the break to actually be worth it, rather than having to obviously rush and get back or whatever, which can obviously provide a little bit more stress on top of a break, right? So yeah, obviously it seems like everything's all good though. It seems like everything's fine. And yeah, hopefully we can get back to some more Neuro and Evil streams. And hey, maybe there's gonna be some other records broken. You never know, right? Because again, a hype train can happen at any point. It's not just a subathon that this can happen. So maybe there could be some attempts, you know. Obviously I'll continue to cover it if that does happen in the future. I don't know if the Swarm have any kind of plan or idea to do that. Again, obviously people were pretty drained from the last 2, and that is why they couldn't really get a third one up, because a lot of people had been, you know, donating so heavily to the previous ones. It seems like, yeah, obviously they need a little bit of a cool down, right? Obviously I think that some people are maybe saving up some of their kind of I guess gift subs and whatever for the next subathon, which could be, I don't know, next year or maybe in a couple of years, I don't know. But you know, they're saving up for a bigger hype train then, which would be really cool to see. But hey, maybe there's going to be one early. I'll let you know. But yeah, as I said, I'll keep you guys up to date if there's anything else going on with Neuro Sama and any other really great stuff. But I am glad to see that they are back and that Vedal is back as well. But that's about all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kazo, get 10% off again. They got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.